Hey bro.
Hey man.
So we were talking about handbook, right?
Yes.
And also in other books we will be talking about such stuff in the later part. But there is this no clear idea about gratitude for me. Now, how do you define gratitude in terms of not only just to humans? Like this kind of confuses me. Like whether you have to do it like just on the go or you have to do it intentionally. So it kind of a new concept to me because it is something I've never thought about. Being nice, being polite to everybody, that is there, but having the gratitude is kind of not so clear concept in my head for now. So
Sure.
learn
Sure.
more about it.
So the first time the concept of gratitude was introduced to my life, or I found it, was through this book called The Science of Getting Rich by Wallace D. Wattles. And this was a book which was quite instrumental in changing my life. I found this in second year of college. This was after I found The Secret, and it was also an interesting way. There was actually somebody who was telling about this book to somebody else, his friend, and the guy who was telling his friend was like really excited about this book, and I could see from his excitement that he really wanted his friend to check out this book. But then I could also notice that the friend was quite disinterested, he was like, okay, fine, yeah. But then just looking at this guy's excitement, enthusiasm, I got the curiosity to check it out. And then I saw the movie, and then this movie just blew my mind, and I was first time introduced to the concept of the law of attraction and how our thoughts manifest our reality and things like that, because until that point these concepts simply didn't exist in my life. And I got pretty excited by this, and I kind of, because it opened up this possibility that you are the architect of your life. And through that book, then I started finding a whole host of other books in that topic, and which is where I found this book, The Science of Getting Rich by Wallace D. Wattles. And that book truly introduced me to a lot of new concepts, which, I mean, though it was written 100 years ago, like for me it was new. And so in that book there is a whole chapter on gratitude. So before I get to gratitude and why I do that, I will kind of talk about a few other principles, which is that that you are the architect of your reality. And if you think of the external world that you are experiencing, it's simply the manifestation of your inner story, right? So what happens is there are certain thought loops that are happening in your mind, and the internal dialogues happen in a certain manner, which is a function of the programming that you have, which you've picked up from different places. Like you're not consciously aware of these things. Like you're watching certain things on TV, you're watching some media, and there's certain kinds of exposure that you have because of your parents and all different kinds of things. And that ends up manifesting your life, right? And now when you look at the general mode of operation that the world is normally operating in, now if you think about news, you can think of it as the crisis news network, where they're always just telling you how things are bad.
True.
And if you're, and even if you're talking to your friends, because everybody is ultimately exposed to the same kind of media, so whether you're exposed to it directly or indirectly, what you're constantly being bombarded with is this sense of how things are bad and how things are just going from bad to worse. And what happens is when you're running on that kind of programming, that is the kind of life that you tend to manifest for yourself. If you're constantly focusing on what is wrong, you tend to manifest the wrong in your life, which is where gratitude comes in, which is that it flips the model completely. So while up until this time you have constantly, or say many people might have this thought pattern this model of operating in life where there is this constant focus on that which they are unhappy with in their life, and what they end up doing because of that kind of focus is to manifest more of the unpleasantness, whatever is wrong, all the stuff that is, you know, messed up in their life, they tend to manifest more of that. When you flip it to gratitude, it's more than gratitude, I would say, is to have the attitude of gratitude.
Okay.
Which is where you're constantly looking at all the things which are part of your life, and rather than now focusing on all the things which are wrong, you're focusing on all the things which are right, all the things which you have the ability to be grateful for. For example, in this moment, we could be grateful for the fact that we have this equipment and we are able to do what we are able to do, which is something that a lot of people take for granted. Now, think about the smartphone, for example, is like it's a superpower, really. You're connected to the internet, you go to a new place, and you have this superpower where you can simply navigate yourself, where you can go from point A to point B without having to ask anyone for, you know, guidance or directions or whatever. That's just one of the things that the smartphone is capable of doing for you. You can also listen to music, you can download new stuff, you can read books, you can listen to videos, you know, which is like really informative stuff. Now, while all of these benefits exist, the way we normally operate in life is, we just take those things for granted. Like, yeah, obviously, everyone has a smartphone, I also have a smartphone, a big deal. Now, once you've taken all the beautiful things in life and put them in the bag of obvious, now the only thing that remains is all the things that you feel are missing out in your life, right? Which is what gratitude helps you fix. And once you understand that it's your thought patterns which manifest your life, a grateful mind is closer to the source, and it is always thanking the source for all the beautiful things that it has in life. And if that is your primary attitude in life, to be grateful for things, life gives you more things to be grateful for. It's very simple. It's like if you're constantly nagging, constantly talking about all the things that are wrong in your life, life is constantly supplying you with more things to nag about, more things to complain about, more things to cry about. If you are constantly grateful for all the things that you have, life supplies you with more of that you can have and thus be grateful for.
Cool. So, yeah, that kind of finishes the whole thing. I'm getting it. Even by listening it, I'm figuring that is my neurons are just moving things here. So the concepts are like really cool to get in. Cool. So that's it. Maybe it's a very short bite video.
Sure.
Cool.